The project is to take that and put it on the roof of that. My RV, which is a 2001 Fleetwood Flare 30-footer, and actually not literally put it on top of that. We're going to actually open it up and mix it up first, per the manufacturer's instructions. But first of all, before I get to that, why did I choose EPDM coatings.com? Did my research, went to some of the other manufacturers' websites, also went to some of the RV stores, and I just didn't like how they recommended the application. Too difficult for one man. You had to, in some cases, power wash it, then put on some kind of coating, activator coating, and then finally put on the paint, and guess what? You had to do it all in one day. It looked like a big job for a 30-foot motorhome. So when I went to EPDMcoatings.com and looked at their application, it looked pretty straightforward and simple. Didn't have to be done in one day, number one, and it was a two-part mixture. Very similar, I am very similar to mixing up resins and epoxies because I do some boat work. So this looked like the right product for me. The first thing I did was level the motorhome. I thought that was necessary. Didn't want paint running off the sides or down the back or the front. Then I actually removed some of the cowlings or covers on the air conditioning and the roof vents. Then I got a pretty stiff brush and some simple green, and I actually washed the whole motorhome, scrubbed it with simple green. When I was doing this, I found that there was kind of a grayish milky process or fluid that was coming off. So after a good thorough rinse, it came out like this. And actually what happened is you can see it became a little speckled there, and I think that's just part of what happens when you clean it thoroughly and you've got an older roof. But anyway, you can see I've also masked off the sides and the back, and we're going to do a little bit of a acetone wipe down because it sat overnight, and make sure it's clean. We actually let it dry after it was just me, not a we. After I washed it down with the simple green, I let it dry overnight, and so I'll show you what happens in the next step. One other note, it's October 30th, 2011, and about 11:30 in the morning, Southern California. As you can see, a nice sunny day here in the boatyard where people work on our boats. And temperature right now is about high 60s. It's supposed to get up to mid to high 70s today. So it looks like a great day to do a paint application of EPDMcoatings.com. Well, I finished up last night about 2 hours before sunset, and then about an hour later the fog rolled in. So things got a little wet. As you can see, I do have a little bit of rippling or bubbling, but I've been told that will come out in a few days. So next up, I'm going to remove all the masking tape, and then hopefully this will be a finished project. I guess some lessons learned. If you're working on your knees, which you are when you do a lot of the cutting in, wear knee pads. I didn't, and today I'm paying for it. Some pluses: the long-handled squeegee and the long-handled roller worked out great, kept me off my knees. Another thing I might do differently is instead of mixing up 1 gallon at a time, which I did cautiously, wasn't sure exactly how everything was going to work out. I probably could have mixed 2 or 4 gallons at a time, and it would have probably gone smoother, because it does take a little bit of time to mix it up, and to mix it up thoroughly. So that's pretty much it. I guess bottom line is I'm happy with the EPDM coatings.com product, and yeah, very bottom line, it saved me thousands of dollars having somebody else do it, and I also think it would have been impossible for one man to use some other product and having to apply some kind of activator coating, let it dry for a little bit, and then put the other coating on. That's like putting two coatings on, and it took me pretty much all day to do a single coating. So I think overall, good product. Looks like I got some good coverage. Looks pretty thick where it needs to be, and all in all, a success.